Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome to my channel. If you're retiring solo, you're not just planning for fun things. You're planning for freedom, peace of mind, and the ability to keep living life on your own terms, even if you get sick for a week, or if you break a bone, or if you have one of those life happens moments that can knock your whole system off balance. Because when you live alone, the scary part isn't always the big emergency. The scary part is the little ripple effects, like who feeds the dog, who gets the mail before it piles up, who knows which bills are on auto pay and which ones still need you to log in, and who can talk to the doctor if you're groggy in a hospital bed and make decisions if you can't. Protecting your health, finances, and independence in solo retirement is how you stay in charge of your life. If you have nothing else in place, at least have the documents that let someone help you if you can't help yourself for a period of time. One of the big ones is a durable power of attorney. That's the document that allows a trusted person to handle financial and legal matters if you are unable to. It's not about giving up control. It's about choosing control ahead of time. Then there's a healthcare proxy, sometimes called a medical power of attorney. This is who can speak to doctors and make medical decisions if you can't. And along with that is a living will, which is where you put your wishes in writing. Things like what would you want done in certain medical situations and what you don't want, and what matters most to you. These three things together are like your I still get to decide package. It's not enough just to have these documents. Someone has to know where they are. If they're buried in a drawer under old tax returns, they might as well not even exist. So create one place and in case of emergencies folder, binder, or file, and make it obvious. Place these documents there and tell your emergency person exactly where it is. Automating bills is one of those unglamorous things that protect your independence more than almost anything else. If you ended up in the hospital for a week, would your rent or mortgage still get paid? Would your utilities stay on? Would your phone bill, your insurance, and your credit card minimum payments get done? Would all of it keep moving without you? A lot of people think, oh, I'll just handle it if something happens. But that's the point. If something happens, you might not be in a position to handle anything. You could be in pain, medicated, exhausted, or simply focused on getting better. So set up autopay for the essentials and then set up alerts so that you know what's happening. I love the combination of automation plus visibility. Things get paid, but you're still aware. While you're doing this, make sure that your accounts are easy to access for the person who might need to step in. I'm not saying hand out passwords like party favors, but you do need a secure system for your logins and key information. Whether that's a password manager with an emergency contact feature or in a safe with instructions. Have a plan that isn't, oh, someone will figure it out. If you live alone, someone you trust should have a key, not hidden under a mat or taped under a flower pot, a real key with a real person. And if you're thinking, I don't want anyone to have access, okay, but then ask yourself, do you want to be the person lying in a hospital bed while someone breaks down your door because there's no other way? This is one of those moments where independence is actually supported by interdependence. You stay independent longer when you're not trying to be a lone wolf about everything. For so many of us, our pets aren't just pets, they're family. They're routine, comfort, and a part of why we like coming home. And in an emergency, pet care is one of the first things that becomes complicated. Have written instructions on how to care for your pet, especially if your pet is on medication or has special needs. Write it like someone who has never met your pet could follow it. What do they eat? How much and when? Where is the food? And where's the medication? What's the vet's name and number? And what is your pet's temperament like? Are they nervous? Do they bolt out the door? Do they need a harness instead of a collar? And I know this sounds detailed, but that detail is love. And that detail is what keeps you from stressing in a crisis and keeps your pet from being confused and unsettled. It's also good to think about a backup person for your emergency person, because life happens to everyone, not just you. So if your first person is out of town, who's the second? If you have a neighbor that you trust, that could be gold in solo retirement. You don't need a huge circle. You just need a reliable little web. Protecting your health isn't only about paperwork. It's also about making your life easier to manage if you ever have a temporary setback. Think about your home as part of your retirement plan. If you got sick or hurt, could you function in your space? Are the things you use every day within easy reach? Do you have night lights when you get up in the dark? And are your medications organized? Do you have a list of your medications written down somewhere, not just in your head? One of the simplest things that you can do is keep a one-page health sheet in your emergency binder. Have your doctor's name and phone number, any diagnosis, allergies, medications, doses, insurance information, and other emergency contacts. In stressful moments, your brain does not perform like it does on a normal day. Give yourself the gift of not having to remember everything. Now let's talk finances, because solo retirement requires a different kind of protection. It's not that couples have it easy, but there's often a built-in second set of eyes. When you're solo, you have to create that second set of eyes on purpose. So in addition to automating bills, you can also automate your financial stability. That could mean automatic transfers into savings, automatic contributions into investments, if that applies to you, and automatic fraud alerts on your accounts. Turn on notifications for large purchases or withdrawals, and consider setting up a credit freeze if you're not actively applying for credit, because fraud prevention is a form of independence too. As we get older, scammers get bolder. They count on you being polite, they count on you being alone, and they count on you being flustered. Make a personal rule right now that you do not make financial decisions on the spot, or on the phone, or under pressure. If anyone rushes you, that's your sign to slow down. Another thing you can do is simplify your finances. Fewer accounts, clearer systems, and easy to find documents. If you have old retirement accounts scattered everywhere, consolidate it if it makes sense for you. If you have a random pile of subscriptions you forgot about, clean them out. The goal is to make your financial life so simple that if you had to hand it off temporarily, it wouldn't be a scavenger hunt. Also, check your beneficiaries. This is one of those things people forget for years. Retirement accounts, life insurance, even some bank accounts. Beneficiary designations matter, and they override what's written in a will in many cases. So if your life has changed through divorce, remarried, death of a loved one, estranged relationships, update those designations so your money goes where you actually want it to go. A well-designed solo retirement isn't just a dream life, it's a resilient life. If you're watching this and thinking, I've been meaning to do this, you don't have to do everything in one day, but you do need to start. Because the biggest gift you can give yourself in solo retirement is the ability to stay calm in a crisis, to know that if something happens, you're not scrambling. You're supported by the systems that you set up while you were healthy and clear-minded. If you want, tell me in the comments, what are you going to tackle first? And thank you so much for watching.